for whatever reason, I still love you. I do, and I'm so sorry I didn't come and visit you all those years in here. This place is hell.
3 months. You've been in here 3 months. Talk to me after 5 years. If there's any justice, we'll have that conversation.
Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick. We're finally doing Empire. Season 2, Episode 1, The Devils Are Here. Jayar, Bibbs, Alonso.
Yay!
And now this is how you do a season premiere.
Holy crap! I was worried Empire... Okay, so we didn't do Empire Season 1, so real fast, it rocks. This show is amazing, and I love every minute of it. But I was worried it was going to be one of those shows where they used up all their juice in the first season, because every episode was packed with plot and incident. Everything felt built up and naturally, even though it was a complete twist through. The first season of Empire surprised me so many times. Yeah. And I was like, maybe this is going to be like a Glee or a Heroes thing, where like first episode, season 2, you're like, and you're done. You're out of ideas. Nope. First moments are insane.
So I guess just since we're going to do a quick thing on season 1, the entire time, you know, I have this running dialogue in my head. I'm like, how are they going to continue this series if Terrance is gone? You know, so I was like, so they got to do something. But when they do it, I'm going to be sitting on, BS, bullshit. It's not going to happen, right? And they did it the right way. It worked out. And I was like, oh, so that's true. And then it checks out with reality. People get misdiagnosed, maybe, and then you have to look through other symptoms to find out the right thing it is. Which actually, I forgot. MG was the acronym for the actual.
There's what actually got. I forgot.
My theory was, this is the one thing where it's like I kind of liked my version better. I had hoped that it would turn out that like Judd Nelson had bribed his doctor to tell him he had ALS, and then he actually was fine, like something like no. So
it was all psychosomatic when he was having
something, or like maybe the drugs he was getting were giving him the symptoms, something like that.
Yeah, no,
that would have been fine too. But no, it worked out.
Yeah, at some point during season 1, I just remember thinking to myself, oh yeah, Empire is a synonym for dynasty.
Genius.
This is like nighttime soap at its most entertaining. Lee Daniels, I think, has a really great kind of trash sensibility for this sort of thing. There was a great piece that Mark Harris did when The Butler came out, talking about how that Lee Daniels is influenced by 70s cinema, but not the usual 70s cinema, that he's influenced by like disaster movies, you know, and those are the all-star cast. And you definitely, between him and Eileen Chaikin, who did The L Word on Showtime, which was a show that knew how to be soapy, like, please, Don Denbo, come home, all is mist. You know, these guys know how to put together like really fun, trashy, compelling, tune in next week kind of stuff.
I love it when Lee Daniels goes trashy, because he'll make something very dignified. You know, something like Precious or The Butler. But you can always tell he's having the most fun with the strange moments and with the really seedy, melodramatic bits. And I feel like if you want to unlock Lee Daniels, if you want to be like, who is, I can't get a beat on him because I saw these things and they don't match up. Watch
Shadowboxer?
No, but kind of. Paperboy? What is
The
it?
Paperboy, yes.
Paperboy. That is the sleaziest thing. It's all sweat and tawdriness. And it just moves into, and not only is Empire is great because it's got a great cast, it's got fantastic characters, puts them in a situation to hate each other, turn on each other constantly, but create a perfect device for why they won't ever kill each other. There's a love-hate relationship, and the music is amazing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get to. So there's parts of it that really make it work. We always know when it comes to good shows and movies, it's the writing. So a lot of times I'm looking at it and I try and detach and just relax and watch a TV show, because I don't watch many TV shows, series, because I eventually get bored of them or find something wrong with them. And then so the writing just continues to work. And then he brings in characters or actors that play characters, and when you see them appear, you think, this isn't going to work. It doesn't make any sense for him to be this kind of character. From the top, from Lucius.
Sure.
Terrance Howard playing Lucius, I was like, no one's going to believe this guy is a hip-hop artist from back in the day who was from the streets and really did things for real. Terrance Howard really, and you sit there and you continue to watch, you continue to kind of believe it because it's working. The writing is working and the acting is great.
That's how I was with this episode. I was like, oh, we're finally going to meet Frank Gathers.
Yeah.
Oh, what awesome actor are we going to get to play this really threatening Chris
Rock?
And Chris Rock sells it.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
good.
I was ready to be so upset about that when I saw him get off the bus. I was like, this is like a joke, right?
No, he was menacing. But let's unpack this thing from the beginning, because this has one of the most, ballsiest opening gambits I think I've ever seen. Let's exploit the issue, the actual real life issue of the prison industrial complex and black people suffering in the American justice system, and apply it to a character that everybody knows is guilty of the thing that he's being accused of.
Yeah. There's a line that Cookie uses to describe Lucius at the beginning that I don't even think I understand, but I feel like if I could decode this, your father is a tampon, an egomaniac. Are tampons egomaniac? Am I missing something? Someone's writing in a comment right now that's just like, that's on Urban Dictionary and everyone knows it. That's new to me. I don't know what I'm supposed to think.
And also, you can tell that the show became super hot in season 1, because in the first 10 minutes, we get cameos from MSNBC host,
well, I was thinking
Reverend,
Don Lemon, but then,
Al Sharpton, Don Lemon, and Andre Leon Talley.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Just bam, bam, bam.
Andre Leon Talley because I was too busy thinking about the news personalities that were on.
Yeah.
And actually, and I'm sorry, and so when they did put out Sharpton, of course, I feel like he's almost trolling at times. Of course, Lee Daniels is normal writing, but then, like you said, you brought up the Black Lives Matter, you brought up the prison industrial complex. And then once you bring in Sharpton, and everyone knows what the general reaction is to Al Sharpton, he says, well, I don't take on things that aren't real. And then so I was like, he's looking to piss people off, that he knows that he's looking to piss off.
Totally.
And then we get Cookie in a gorilla costume getting lowered onto the stage in a cage. And I'm thinking to myself, does Cookie just really like Batman and Robin? Because there was that bit in Batman and Robin where the thingy. I wasn't sure. I was like, how am I supposed to respond?
Maybe she was trying to be like Marlene Dietrich in Morocco.
Because way more people in this generation have seen Morocco.
Well, than Batman and Robin, maybe. Anyway,
I don't know.
Okay, so then a segue to Marisa Tomei as rapacious lesbian billionaire.
Oh, I love Marisa Tomei on this show. Holy crap. First off, she looks amazing.
She does.
Secondly, she looks amazing. Thirdly, holy crap, she's having way too much fun.
Oh, when they finally give her that moment that she spins around in the desk chair and does this, I'm like, oh, rest in peace, Jackie Collins. That was a.
I love that they threw her a big lesbian party, like the most unapologetic lesbian party, and I'm sitting there and I'm. What is the opposite of a sausage fest?
Let's not answer that question.
No? Okay.
I'm sure the commenters will. I'm not going to do it.
I'm sure there's got to be a good word for that. I don't know.
We had names for them in college, but we never really experienced those. So
it was all theoretical.
Well, I'm just saying, this party is full of women.
So, you were saying before, how's this show going to work with if they kill Lucius? I remember thinking, how's this show going to work if Lucius is behind bars? But it is.
Well, he's fine. If you're rich and you're behind bars and you still have a lot of influence, you still get to run everything. You're still super duper powerful. Even just at the end where it's like, oh yeah, what are you going to do? You're stuck in prison with Frank Gathers. I bought all his henchmen. Duh. It's the easiest thing. It was great. And then, and I'm going to sign your daughter and have sex with her.
Man.
Dick.
I guess, again, when you mentioned a lot of characters and I was trying to think, who are you supposed to like? Who are you supposed to relate to? Who are you supposed to root for in this entire series? I don't know. Because, of course, a lot of times everyone's on the side of Jamal. Jamal is the one who's the most abused, generally, in a way.
Yeah, and he's the least shitty to everyone else.
Yeah, he continues to give everyone a chance.
He's loyal,
And I think this whole season's going to be about turning him into a supervillain.
Yeah, that's what it seems.
Sure.
That's what it does seem that way. But then will it be the villain that you root for? Which, again, is always hard to pull off. But I'm willing to buy it.
That's the thing about this show. Everyone on this show really, if you think about it, is kind of a shitty person. Maybe they're good a lot of the time. Certainly Jamal is the nicest in general. But they're capable of such horrific behavior. And what I think is remarkable about it is that from episode to episode and sometimes scene to scene, you can go, oh my God, Cookie just killed that guy. Got that guy murdered. Just straight up hired a guy to murder. And yet Right after, it's just like, oh, I like her a lot. I hope she succeeds in all her endeavors. And it's the same thing with Lucius. Lucius is the devil. The first words in his name are L-U-C-I. He's Lucifer himself.
He changed his name to Lucius.
Right. Yes. He's a monster. He's a horrible, horrible human being. But as soon as he said, yeah, but I love Cookie, and I don't want her dead, you're just like, oh, Lucius, you're redeemable. No, he is not. These are horrible. This is like Seinfeld, except you're not supposed to think they're super cute. You're supposed to condemn them once in a while.
I kind of feel like you can't not root for Cookie, partially because Taraji P. Henson is a force of nature, and you just you gotta love that. But I think also because she has been given this backstory of like, I sacrificed for the company, I went to jail for you for 17 years, I wasn't there to raise my children, give me what's mine, I deserve what's mine. And she actually does have something coming to her, as opposed to the sons who apparently
born into it.
No one ever reads King Lear in these things, and they just like, oh, this will be a great idea. So yeah, I think she's more genuinely entitled to the Empire.
Well, backstory is everything, isn't it? I mean, I remember like everyone hated Jaime Lannister on Game of Thrones until they gave him a sad backstory, and everyone's like, oh, he's our hero. No, he tried to kill that kid. Like these are terrible human beings, and yet they're so when Hakeem is complaining to Jamal about his new album cover. And Jamal's just like, no, it's amateurish, I don't care for it. And Hakeem just yells, I'll tell Mom. And then they do that shot every once in a while in a show where they have the entire cast kind of walk in slow-mo down a hallway so you can use it in the credits later or like in promotional material.
Oh, and he's
on a little segue.
I love that so much.
So ludicrous.
Yeah. I feel like, again, it's a head nod going. Everyone who's watching this and knows that this kid grew up in this atmosphere,
Bubble,
in this time frame of kids writing those things. I see them everywhere. And they go, oh.
Of course he would.
Yeah.
Of course he would. And while on his goddamn phone.
And the thing is, I think that's the second one of those little, are they segues? Is that what they officially are?
I forget the name now.
Whatever they are, that's the second one of those.
I'm too old now, I'm beyond it.
Yeah, they're hoverboards, I don't know.
The second one of those we've seen this week, because I bet you $100 the snake guy in Doctor Who was on one of those under the cloak.
Oh, maybe, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it was totally...
I'm sorry, this is maybe as a side note. The fact that they've marketed those devices that we're trying to remember the names of, the Segway had this nerdy quality to it. Like, oh, nerds with short sleeve collared shirts and pencils in their pocket ride Segways. Cool kids ride these, though.
Yeah, Hakeem rides that, man.
I don't know how they did it.
Who doesn't want to be like Hakeem?
I would love to be like Hakeem in every conceivable way.
So I guess we talk about villains, and I can only think of 1.5 people and characters in this show that you can't conceive them being a bad guy, and that's Becky.
Yes, I love Becky.
Yeah,
great.
And Jamal's original boyfriend, who is now back.
Right. Yes.
But then again, he got a little annoying in the first season. I was like, please. Sit down, chill out for a second. You'll do better if you just chill.
Yeah, he immediately went to the like, you never died for me.
Yeah, so that was the half. He's half
I
a good guy. I
appreciate the whole not coming out the first time you had an opportunity.
Well, and fame is a harsh mistress. I understand it's very time consuming.
So I was surprised they brought him back. Honestly, this is the kind of show where you can totally they can totally forget Courtney Love's character ever existed.
Yeah, true.
They never have to bring her back. I was surprised, because okay, we're going to throw a big lesbian party for our big lesbian investor, and you don't, is it Nima, Hakeem's old girlfriend, who cheated on him with another woman?
Oh, right. I forgot about her.
You don't use your lesbian,
subplot.
You don't use the person you have at your disposal.
That's true.
For these things. Yeah. You don't have.
She should be in the Rolodex under L. What's that about?
I will say this: there's one flaw in this episode, an actual dramatic flaw, and I bet it's just editing, and I think they moved the scene around. Both Cookie and Carol get the roses from Gathers before he finds out she snitched on him.
Oh, yeah. That's true, actually. You're right.
They send us all this stuff, and then they do the scene where it was just like, no, Cookie snitched on him. He's like, Cookie wouldn't do that. Or would she? Yeah. Oh. But I'll live with it. I just wanted to point it out so that they never do it again.
I want more Portia this season.
Oh, my God. I got a boo-boo.
So yeah,
another one I can't imagine being evil.
No, well, give her time.
I just can't imagine like the wrath of Portia. Like
Assistants can be a real terror.
You know what? I want to see Becky and Portia spend time together. I want them to be like the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, where like everyone's just sort of like everyone else's bullshit like falls down on them, and they like in the end the only two main characters who die are Becky and Portia.
Or they get trapped in an elevator episode and just talk for an hour.
They already did Trapped in an Elevator.
Oh, that's true.
Show.
You're right.
They had to sing Andre out of insanity.
I forgot.
Bless you, Empire.
And although we know Vernon's gone, but it shows again how quickly someone cannot be on the show. I couldn't imagine as the wife walks up and is about to smash. I was like, well, he's gonna die, and I'm not ready for this. I wasn't ready for that to go down yet. But in seeing what's going, considering Vernon was the right-hand man, the guy that Lucius can always trust.
Right.
As we see maybe Jamal become the next Lucius, who is his right-hand woman? Becky.
Yeah, no, he was very sharp about keeping her close, and she knows where all the bodies are buried.
That's where evil will come in.
Also non-evil is if they bring her back, Jennifer Hudson.
Yes, well, corrupted.
Corruptible.
It's been some time. They could bring her back and have her like, I don't know, be like as evil as possible. She's just in her apartment, like slicing up kittens. And I'm just like, yeah, I can record a new album. Like, it would not even shock me. Like, that's how far she's fallen. Because that was the whole point of her character.
True, yes.
Basically.
Yes.
Out of curiosity, where do we think we're going with Marisa Tomei? Is she going to be like the new Lucius while he's in here? Or is she like only came in to steal the company and now she's gone? She's got to keep
on
back,
this
right?
show. Who the hell knows? We could never see her again, or she could pop up in the next 5 episodes. It's
my
anybody's
mindset
guess.
is already that she's pretty much served her purpose. Maybe another episode to have some more of the corruption.
I want more Marisa Tomei.
Well,
yes,
that's and every show needs more.
Save her from parental guidance too.
Gotham needs more Marisa Tomei. All the shows need more Marisa Tomei.
Oh my God, yes.
So anyway, whether she's back or not, we will be. So join us next time.